Okay, example 4 is about weighted average. Okay, we've already done overall average, and I think most of us are getting that under control. Weighted average is a way that some teachers choose to do their tests or do their averaging. If I'm a teacher and I teach giving cumulative tests, in other words, test 1 goes from 1 to 4, test 2 goes from 1 to 8, test 3 goes from 1 to 12, test 4 goes from 1 to 16, and it's truly cumulative, you continue to hit every single topic, then maybe I'm going to make test 4 worth more than test 1 because there's more stuff on it, something like that. I do go back personally each time, but I don't cover every single topic on every test, so I count them about the same, just you're not allowed to forget anything. But again, that might be a reason you give weighted tests. But if you take a look, if you see the words weighted average, I want you to make this graphic organizer for me. Okay? And you're going to want to have the test score. Usually weighted average has to do with test scores or maybe some type of a competition. There's scores based on the competition, maybe like ice skating or gymnastics or something like that. But you put a column that's just the score they got on the test or the event or whatever you're dealing with. And in this case, 60, 70, 80, 90, 4 tests, so I made 4 rows in my column. Okay? Then you want to have a column for weight and a column for weighted score. Underneath weight and weighted score, you want to have 2 extra boxes. These are the 2 magic numbers we're going to need to find what we're looking for down here at the bottom. All right? So, what I'm looking for in my words is I'm looking to fill in all the boxes involving scores and weights. Okay? So I get all my information to go in here from the words. So if we look through here, Jim's scores were 60, 70, 80, and 90. So we write down his test scores, 60, 70, 80, 90. So again, when you're doing a weighted average, the actual score they received on each assignment or test, whatever, goes in the first column. The scores, or let's say weighted average of the scores, if the tests were weighted 1, 2, 4, and 6 in that order. So they've given us the test scores in this order. They want the weights to be in the same order as the test. So 1, 2, 4, and 6 are the weights. Okay. Once you filled in those 2 columns, what was left to do then is to determine the weighted score of each test, and then we want to fill in these 2 boxes. Okay, so first off, weighted score is a product of test score and weight. So you take the test score, multiply by the weight to get the weighted score. So the first test weighted 1, he got a 60, his weighted score is a 60. The second test had a weight of 2, he got a 70, 2 times 70 is 140. Third test, weight is 4, he got an 80, 4 times 80 is 320. His final test was weighted 6, he got a 90, 90 times 6 is 440. Now, just for trivial reasons, or trivial knowledge, the average of these 4 numbers is 75. If I was just to average those up like normal. If every test counted the same, boom, 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 divided by 4 equals, 75 is what comes out of that. Okay? Notice the lowest score came on the lowest weight, the highest score came on the highest weight, which means that his score should be higher than 75. Right? Right. So to get the weighted average is equal to the sum of the weighted score over the sum of the weights. In other words, once I get both of these columns figured out, I'm going to simply add them up to get what goes down here. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 6 is 13. 0 straight down, 10, 12, 6, carry the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 1,060 is what the weights add up to, weighted scores, and 13 is what the weights add up to. So his weighted average in this case is simply going to be 1,060, the sum of all the weighted scores, divided by 13, the sum of all the weights. 1060 divided by 13 comes out to an 81.54. 6.5 points higher than it would have gotten just for straight averaging. Okay, and again, as the test got weighted more, his test grades went up, so he got rewarded for doing better on the harder tests.